I was
You
just
got
like
bummed
looking into
because
the
of it?
game, and I was just like, man, like why did I even do that? But now we're so close.
Oh, I know. Less than a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, you ready to go here, sir?
Yeah, sure, let's do it. You got your nickname already? Abercrombie, Travis?
Yeah, I got a nickname. I got a...
You got like a bug in your little hair right there.
I got a bug? Like an actual bug?
Looked like one.
Or is it the Slenderman?
Maybe even Slenderman.
Maybe when I was biking, just flies all over.
Who knows the rules?
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
It was on like one strand of hair.
Who knows, given Slenderman the way this movie works. Let's just get into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 209th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the tree loving Travis now.
The tree loving.
Yeah.
I am the music geek, Kirklin and Travis.
Oh,
if you remember that
God!
scene. My favorite scene in this movie, by far.
I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. The chase. Check out me and Dylan did a newscast yesterday. Check out me and Taylor did a Meg review. I saw the Meg and I was like, you know what? This is probably gonna be the worst movie I see this weekend. I was definitely wrong. This is the Slenderman review. We're gonna do a non-spoilers review, and then we'll jump into spoilers. But honestly, you should stick around for spoilers because we're gonna save you money and time. You do not need to see this movie. Yeah, Kirkland, you want to start? Do you feel the same way as me with this movie?
I feel the same way. I feel like we don't even need a spoiler section for this movie. Because,
No.
like, what would it be spoiling? There's no story, really.
Well, I guess certain moments and who lives and dies and
so.
stuff like that. But I'm recommending watch that, and we will probably make it more entertaining than this movie does.
Oh, man, that cliffhanger at the end. You think there's going to be a second movie?
Oh, God, no, I don't want there to be a second movie. Even though I kind of do, but... Yikes.
Oh, all right. So
overall thoughts, Kirkland. What do you feel about this movie? Or what? You know what? Start with when did you hear about Slenderman? What's your experience with Slenderman?
Ooh,
popular meme.
That's a good way to start
Yeah.
this. All right.
Let's start on a high.
Exactly.
Work our way down.
I forget what year it would have been, but it was kind of when like the game was like in the mainstream. Like a lot of people were talking about the video game itself, and then I think I don't know if the whole story of Slenderman started with that or if it was kind of like a folk
I think it was
tale.
before it was
Okay.
folk tales that people would Photoshop these pictures and make up these stories, and then the game happened. Which the game you're referring to, if people don't know, was just a game where were you in the woods? Because I've never seen people. Of course you're in the woods.
Of course you're in the woods. There's a lot of trees in this movie.
And like he will pop up at times. And
Yeah.
you're trying to get away from him, right?
Like the game, it was just a free to play game. You can probably still find it now. You just Google it.
Mhm.
But I think you're a kid in the woods with like a flashlight. It doesn't really explain anything. It just starts and it says collect the 8 pages.
Okay.
So then you just wander through. The big mechanic in it is that the Slenderman would always be behind you.
Mhm.
He'll never just like come out of a bush because he never moves, right? It's
Yeah.
a very basic bare bones game. So then the more pages you get, the more aggressive he'd be. So you'd kind of turn a corner and he'd just be right there. And it's kind of like the jump scare effect, and then the music with it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first experience with anything Slenderman. I thought it was an interesting story, to say the least. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's a real thing, man! Like I see him in the woods." It's like, dude, come on, like.
All from Taylor.
Yeah, and then even in this movie, they showed like photos that I'd seen online. I'm like, that is so fake, man. Like he's like his suit's so clean. He's got like the Agent 47.
I
suit.
did like that they used actual stuff that was online, like stuff that we had seen to kind of go into the mythos of it.
Especially like. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but at the end, like in the credits, like in the credits, just like hearing people's like story. It's kind of like
you see artwork, people.
Yeah, it reminded me almost like a Blair Witch thing. How they really wanted to run on. It's like, oh, is it real? Is it not? That's where I was getting that feeling from. But
so the best stuff about this movie is stuff outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like. I don't know, people that are like super into the whole Slenderman story itself, I don't even think they'll like this though.
No.
Because it's just.
It doesn't add anything to it.
No, not at all. Like you would have been just better off either enjoying the game and just like doing your own research. Oh, yeah. But where were we even talking? Oh yeah, so my experience, I guess that's where I started from. Just playing the game when it was popular. I forget what year it would have been, but I don't know, years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's just creepypasta. That was a big thing as far as it's not really in the big film nerd community, but just in the online community that went around. And I've never checked out the show, but there's a show that they're doing. I can't remember on Sci-Fi what it's called, but it's an anthology series, and they're adapting creepypasta stories.
Oh,
for
that'd
it.
be interesting.
Yeah, I can't remember, and I heard it's good. I've always wanted to get around to it, so maybe I will after this.
So it's out already?
I think it's 2 seasons in already.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah,
I should check that out.
I've heard good things, and I need something to like wipe away this movie. But yeah, that was about it. I like anything that's kind of the, like, I'm a big fan of campfire ghost stories.
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
And that's exactly what this
Yeah.
is. He always looked really creepy.
Mm.
And I guess that's the thing that made me excited for when they did announce the movie. I thought, you know what, the concept's cool. It's a spin-off other urban myths, right? Like they even touched upon in this movie, like it's a guy who takes kids, you know?
The Peter Piper.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like
his-
whether it's through fear or he, you know, kind of seduces them in a way, you know, with fear, maybe showing them something. Like I kind of, and anytime you got a villain that's going after kids, you got to automatically, okay, this is a bad dude, creepy
Freddy
factor,
Krueger sort of thing.
Yeah, and with this movie, I guess we'll transition now to talking about the movie because we got our experience out of the way. With the movie, it doesn't add anything at all, and if I didn't need to add anything, I needed it to execute like I want to hear, okay, so there is a story about the Slenderman myth, right? I want to see that done, and I want to see that done well.
Oh yeah, and it's like when you think of the Slenderman, like the creepypastas or just any story that anyone's told, like you feel like it could just be such an easy transition from the stories into like a big screen like feature, but
yeah.
I don't even.
Maybe maybe we're wrong. Maybe it's just because when I think about it, it is like you pointed out. He doesn't move around much. He doesn't talk. He's just a stoic figure. So maybe this should have just been a great short film at some point. But if you're gonna make a film, I still think there's enough of the lore you could have twisted and whatnot. And that's the thing. You've got to at least make him creepy, you know? And he's not.
No, he's not
creepy
at all.
in this
Like
movie.
when you see him, like when she's talking to Tom, Abercrombie Tom. And she's looking in the woods like
For people that haven't seen the movie, Tom is the main girl's love interest.
Yeah.
It's like cute boy, you know, it's that
football
kind of guy.
jock.
Yeah,
plays
exactly.
golf,
So the
good
preference
hair.
who Tom is for people, yeah.
Sorry. And but like they show the Slenderman and he just does not look scary. Like
It's
his,
completely CG.
it's completely CG.
Yeah.
His face is like so square, especially in like the I don't know, he just I just get so like tilted just thinking about like how
I heard that on a review.
yeah, it's like, but when you think about like transitioning the whole folklore of Slenderman into a movie, like you just feel like it'd be so easy, but like when they show just so CGI, it's just so obvious.
I couldn't believe that they credit the actor.
I know, I saw his name on there. Like, oh man,
I was
like, what did you do?
Like, I guess he did the mocap work, but it was
he did the noises of like the woods movie.
like it felt like it was completely CG. And the thing is, so he's not scary, and they shoot him a lot where he's a shadowy figure, which works, but then the times where he has to be like up in the people's face, that he doesn't have a scary moment. And that's the thing where it's tough with this character, because the two movies that this most feels like that they're a bad version, it feels a lot like Nightmare on Elm Street with the kids, like, hey, are you having these dreams? Are you seeing that stuff? Like the very first 10 minutes of this movie has a conversation with the kids, minor spoilers, talking about like, oh, I'm seeing things. It's the exact same thing as Nightmare on Elm Street, where they're like, have you had dreams? And they're like, no. And they're like, I have. Like, it's exactly like that. And then they take a route, which is maybe like a mini spoiler, but they take a route that's like The Ring. Where
that's totally
there's
what I
kind of
thought.
like a videotape aspect, which that we'll talk about in spoilers. I was kind of caught off guard, but the thing is, there's two different type of monster movies I compare them to. You got like Jason and Michael Myers, where okay, they're just these big figures, but then they make them creepy when you see them, but then they do like brutal kills, right? So that's what kind of makes them scary, is they're posing and they'll just rip you to shreds. And then you have like The Grudge and Freddy, where The Grudge they usually build up to, and it's really scary when you see her. And Freddy, he's always playing these mind games. Like you don't see him much in the movies, but when you do, it's super important, and he's scary. Where in this, he doesn't. It's Myers spoilers, but it's a PG-13 movie. There's no big gruesome kills, so it's not like always scary because he's a killing machine. And then when he's on screen, because he can't talk, he's always just in the shadows, and then when he does something, it's very quick and it looks really lame.
Oh,
so it's just
so lame.
It's not scary at all. So they don't have like you can't go for the imposing one or the mind games villain. He's just a stick man. And he's literally just a tree at some points. And it's just like they couldn't. And I don't know. Maybe that's where to me it's like, okay, he is this stoic figure. That's where, okay, change that stuff of the urban myth. Like add some stuff. I don't know if you need him to talk, but just do some more things. There's like maybe one set piece where he's kind of chasing after somebody, but most of the time he's just there, and it's shadows, and it's a lot of fucking trees. There's so many shots of trees in this movie.
Oh my gosh,
this should just be called Trees, the movie at some point. The opening credits of this movie is just shots of trees. And I was like, oh, and I get
the
it.
film
but,
itself.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, the film itself, they watch it, it's like the first minute is just trees, and then it's like bird's eye view of trees, and like, I guess I'll try to hold back because of spoilers.
Yeah,
anything non-spoilers else you want to shout out before we jump into
like I was gonna say something spoiler-wise, but I'll save that. But just like how you're saying, like he's never been someone to chase you, right? Where it's more of just like, I feel like they could have built so much more on like the atmosphere aspect of him just like that presence of him. Like they had mind game stuff, but like it just wasn't executed properly whatsoever. It just felt. And then when they did have that stuff, it's like what movie am I watching?
It was
like,
really cheesy. It was there's one in particular that's really bad.
Man.
And me and Kirklin were laughing. You're gonna watch this and listen and feel like we had a great time. We did, but because we were laughing how bad it was. Don't see this movie unless you go with a friend. If you go and be like, I want to have a fun bad time, you could. But the problem was too, all these mind game stuff were like super CG, and the other thing that I didn't like, I guess credit the director for trying something, but they're doing like a lot of unique camera angles.
But
I feel like it was overkill and it didn't work. Like there's one in particular where it's on a girl and there's just stuff happening. But there's one moment of like, they shot this girl in a bed, and the top frame was the bed, or was her, but then the bottom was just the bed. I'm like, oh, maybe Slenderman's gonna pop up. Yeah. No, it's just the bottom of the bed for a solid 30 seconds.
They're trying to be like super artsy with the frame. And then like another one when Ren and Holly, I think her name was.
I'll pull up the IMDb because I'm blanking, but yeah.
Really interesting names, I will throw that out there.
Unique names, you know.
But they were talking in the hallway, and they were getting so intense. The screen, for some reason, goes to the wall, shows their shadows talking, as if something was gonna happen.
Yeah, and
then it goes back to them. Like it doesn't even like transition back to them. It just goes straight back to them. It's like, what the hell happened there?
It's someone telling you a joke but not giving the punchline. And you would think that, like it's Myers-Briggs, but you think, okay, then the next scene's gonna happen. That's the other thing I don't think we've pointed out. This movie is super slow.
Man.
How little actually happens in this movie is ridiculous. Like where we get from the beginning of the movie to the end, like I said, this could have been a short film. This did not mean and this folks is only an hour and a half. This feels like a 2 hour movie. And last night I saw the Mag review with Taylor, checked that out, and I was like, that's a 2 hour movie, and I said that was slow. This felt longer than the Meg, and this is only an hour and a half, and it was so slow. I'm trying to think of other non-spoiler stuff. Characters-wise, there's nothing to grab on. They throw out few stereotypes like alcoholic dad, this and that, but it's not even the actor's fault. I don't think anyone's overly bad. There's one that was like a little cheesy, which we'll talk about. Was one that, like, and I think, but that I almost compare again. Like I said this with the Meg. I don't know if it's just because the script is so bad and the lines they have given. It's really cookie cutter stuff. It's very cookie cutter dialogue. It's nothing. This film is nothing you haven't seen before. You know, like
it's everything you don't need to see.
no, except for certain scenes for comedic value. But it's super generic. And another thing too, I don't think we've talked about. We'll try to not spoil or anything, but I think a big thing, if you look at like Jason and Freddy, and especially ones like Freddy where it's in this world and like The Grudge, they try to set up like the rules of the world and how Slenderman works, but they constantly, to me, are either breaking those rules or adding more rules, and I didn't understand. Like, I honestly don't know how you escape the Slenderman still. You know, like, they don't really explain that, and because when Slenderman appears, there's no rhyme or reason. It just happens and then it goes away. It happens, and like that's the thing with Freddy, it's like when you're asleep, he could get you, you gotta stay awake. Crystal Lake, don't go to that campsite. Halloween, don't go out on Halloween. Like, even though those are little basic rules, like, okay, there's a way you can avoid or defeat the villain. Where this, it's just,
don't watch the video, Tom.
Well, yeah, and it's just like, there's no, even then, like, how do you get out of it? And then when they give you rules, they'll say, oh, but there's more on top of that. And there's certain things, too, where they'll make it seem like, okay, the person might get kidnapped or killed, and it might look in a way where it's like, okay, they went missing, or you could explain it. But then there's certain scenes in this movie that there's no way that they just went missing, because there's like broken stuff, like
man,
all over the map. The rules of this film, it was
a lot of irks.
A lot of irks.
One more thing, quickly. I don't know if it's spoiler, but just like the whole, there's so many shots that I was just waiting for something to happen, because like I've had experience watching horror movies. I'm like, this is the perfect spot to do that, to add Slenderman, add a creepy little like not even like a jump scare, because like I always think jump scares are just cheap. Yeah. And they're just like, they're not even scary. It's just like, oh, okay, that was annoying. But like there were so many moments, not just for like jump scares, but just for like a creepy little like Slenderman just popping out, and then it like zooms in like it's gonna happen, and then it just like skips. And that happens so many times in this movie.
And the jump scares, honestly, I didn't even get. I got
one at the end.
Oh, did you?
The window. Because I just wasn't expecting it. And it was just like,
Yeah, but even then, there wasn't too many. And what I think they should have took the approach of, hey, if you couldn't do the Freddy, the Michael, what they should have done is these people should have watched The Strangers and done that with the Slenderman, because that was the thing. Anytime Slenderman was on screen, there's creepy music, or it was like there's one moment where his like head pops out and it's like a boom and it's like scary music. Strangers, the best thing about that was you'd see them move around the background a little bit.
Quiet.
That would have been great, especially with Slenderman being like a tree-like figure, and they use lots of trees. Like that would have been great if you would see Slenderman and something like, oh, did you see? Especially with this movie,
it would have worked so well.
Yeah, I've been like, because Urban Myth is like, do you see him? Yeah. But this is like, it would throw it in your face, like there he is, like there's the Slenderman, and that
with the music and everything. Oh, like here it is.
It would have been great if like that same thing with the scene you referred to earlier is like they're on the computer and there's like a shadow, but they like zoom in the shadows, creepy music.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that scene was just them on the computer and they're talking to each other, and that shadow's in the background, and there's no tension. You just have to catch it, and especially that would fit with his legend. But it was the attention was brought to it so much. And there's nothing happening with it, so it wasn't even exciting to watch.
No, that's a really good point, actually. I'm glad you brought that up, because there was a lot of scenes that, like, they were at the school, like, freaking out. Holy shit, are you having nightmares? And I was looking around in the background. I'm like, this would be perfect if they just had him, like, just standing there. Yeah. You know, because then it gets to that point where it's like, oh, did you see him in that scene? It's like, no, oh, man.
And there was one scene, again, I'm trying to film minor spoilers, that one character is talking to another character, and they see Slenderman off in the distance, and they look, and the person goes, are you okay? And then that character looks at the person, and then looks again, you okay? And then looks back, looks again, hey, are you okay? It was 3 separate times, and that's the thing, it's not even like, maybe you look in the branches or the bushes and you kind of see him. It's Slenderman, and his tentacles are all over the fucking place.
Doing the fucking YMCA over here with his tentacles.
And it's like, it was to the point where, and this movie is very dumb, but it was to the point to where, like, this person would start to worry, because then they answer, it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll see you in my place. They just carry on. It's like, you 3 times have been like, hey, you good? And they keep looking at you and looking back like, you gotta feel something's going on, like something's wrong.
He walks away, she like turns around, starts looking again.
And he's like, okay, cool, see ya. And that's the biggest thing I think that can say for the non-spoiler, if you don't want to be spoiled. We both made this comparison. This movie feels like an unfunny, scary movie. Like the way it sets up characters, a few in particular, the way it sets up scares, there's moments that feel actually comedic. Like, they feel like they're, like... There's a moment, I'm gonna spoil. There's a moment in this movie that is on a girl. She's walking through the forest, and she's walking through trees. She's like, oh, scared. And one moment, she's like, ow! Like, and it's not
pissed.
Yeah, and it's not even like a Slenderman jumped out. It's just her on trees, going through branches, and it's like quick cuts of her different trees, and she's like, ow! Like, it felt like a scary movie moment, and it's just like, if they were trying to make it funny, they were succeeding, but they weren't, and the movie ends in one of the most anticlimactic ways ever. The finale is complete bullshit. Like, it's just like, I don't know, think about like the worst boss video game battle, and this was it. Like, the finale of like, will they or will they won't survive Slenderman, it is 30 seconds, and the motivation does not make any sense whatsoever.
I know, and then it goes back to the rules.
Yeah.
And it's like, they did not follow the rules, I don't think, once in that entire movie.
No. But what are the rules, though? They changed rules so much.
They read it once, and then I was like, okay, they're gonna hold that. Are we just going into spoilers?
Yeah, I'll spoil it. 3, 2, 1. So if you've not seen Slenderman and you don't want to be spoiled, now's your time to check out. Please come back. But I honestly think you just watch along. So yeah, we can start at the rules, because
this would be a fun watch along episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just going back to the rules, because when they originally watched the video, it comes up, it's like, you'll hear the bells toll. It's like
so much fucking wording. Description. Yeah. I felt like I'm reading like a do not resuscitate. Like it's like it's not like a 1, 2 Freddy's coming free. It's like, don't do this.
Like, agree to the terms of use.
Yeah, don't do this. Make sure you check this. Yeah, exactly. Like, don't do this. close your eye on the second bell, but not the third bell. But then on the second bell, re-close your eyes. It's just like, watch this tape. You're going to get a call saying in 7 days. Something simple. Even when they go to the screen of the video, it's like 7 lines. It's like, what is happening? Like, this is so convoluted for a little video.
Oh, I know. And then, okay, so from like my understanding, I might butcher this, so maybe they did follow the rules.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think they may follow the. I think they followed the rules initially, but it's throughout. When like we'll get to, but there's a point where they break that completely, and it doesn't make any sense.
It does not make any sense. Okay, so this is kind of what I was talking about, though, because close your eyes for the 3 bells, right?
Yeah.
You hear the first bell, or it's like don't speak any words until I think it's the second bell. So the first bell goes, do not speak anything.
Right away.
What's that? What's going on? What's going on? And then it's like don't open your eyes till the third bell, right? Mm-hmm. So then second bell goes, you see like everybody just like rip their blindfolds off. They're like, did you hear that shit? And they're talking the whole time. So then in my head, because I'm following the rules at this point in the movie, I'm like, okay, I know she's gonna get fucked because she spoke or she opened up her blindfold. She didn't. The third person, which was Ren, she's the one that actually followed the rules until the end, because then she kind of just ripped her blindfold off when she heard screams and stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like kind of smart. So they're gonna kill off that one character. Ren's gonna be the one that lives, which makes sense. But it's like, whatever the fuck her name was, Claire.
Was it the first one that goes missing?
No, there was
Chloe. Chloe's the winner.
Chloe, yeah. So I'm like, okay, she's bonered, like she's so dead, and then, but it just didn't follow that pattern whatsoever. It was like, Ren, or okay, so I guess I don't know. They killed off Chloe first or second. Sorry.
No, and Katie, and even to me, Ren's thing doesn't make sense of how she goes, like, because this for like. Because this thing in the film, they don't explain these rules, but the way they make it sound is like all these people have gone missing, right? And it all has to do with the woods and them walking off. So that's what I was saying in the non-spoilers, like, okay, so it's like a realistic way of people go missing, Slenderman's taking them, but it's the classic, people are missing, you don't know what's happening, right? Where, how Ren dies, we're jumping all over, but how Ren dies, she's in a house, in her bedroom, a tree comes through, breaks the window.
Sort of like the poltergeist.
Yeah,
like that
breaks
evil
through the window, grabs her, takes her, Ren's gone. You never see her ever again. She's done. Like, and that's where I thought, okay, like fine, they're kind of going missing, but even then the rules break right away. Like to me, Katie makes sense of like, okay, she goes missing, fine, those are the rules that go missing. And then with Chloe, to me, they didn't explain the like, okay, so Slenderman kind of, they said he takes you. They didn't say he takes you over, so why was Chloe in the house? She was just possessed. Like, she was just, like, had a cold. I didn't understand what that was. Like,
no, they did not explain whatsoever what happened to her, because
I thought she was gone and they were covering for her.
Yeah, because when they find her in the woods, she has that look on her face. She's like, oh, nothing happened.
Up. She
so it's like, okay,
man.
she's possessed or something.
Yeah.
Why did it go to her house and she's like, oh man, he's after me again? Like, wouldn't she already be possessed? And then like, what did he do the second time? Well, he like made her like choke herself out, and then she was just possessed more.
That was so bad.
Like
they cut, like they do this gag a few times too. Of apparently he's like really into social media, because like on people's phones, what happened is like, okay, my phone goes off.
I'm no video caller. I'm gonna accept this.
Yeah.
So let's get my FaceTime going.
Exactly. So that happens, and they pull out the phone. This is Chloe. This is the second girl. Goes. We're all over the place, but follow it. So the first, we'll come back to Katie, because I got the same case. So Katie's missing. So it's on Chloe. What happens is, I guess we should set this up for people that haven't seen, they want to stay tuned. So the Legend of Slenderman is to get, they're talking to an anonymous blogger, Kitty something or whatever, like, holy fuck, that's another thing. We'll get to that after. But anyways, it's, this person has all this information, classic horror person, like, unknown, creepy person, it's just a blogger. It's a classic, like, egg Twitter, like, no one known, but it tells them to get Katie back, you're gonna have to give up something you love the most. Which honestly, the stuff they gave up, I thought was, kind of lame. They're giving up fucking pictures of their dad. It's like, I don't know. Like, do you love this picture of your deceased dad more than your actual living mom? I don't know, but maybe they do. So let's say they do. And this is where, so again, they do the whole thing where they close their eyes. Chloe breaks the rules again at this point, because she opens the eye thing before the third one goes off, and then she hears like little rumblings. She runs through the woods. She sees Slenderman. Plays it off. Oh no, I'm classic horror. No, nothing happened. Yeah. She goes to her house. She gets the call, And what it is it's just a video of someone going through her house, walking to her rooms. Okay,
It's
so
like through the walls.
Yeah.
It's like a
Oh,
ghost,
yeah.
like totally.
It's a
no
ghost,
clue,
pretty much. Yeah, and she's just standing there watching this, not worried, and it stops at her door. So she goes, and I kind of like that. Even though it was kind of
built
weird.
up the suspense.
Yeah, it was kind of weird with the phone thing, but I'm like, okay, this villain's into social media, fine, dude. Opens the door, no one's there. She closes it. When she turns around, Slenderman's there. One, again, because of over CG, he just didn't look great, and he just slowly grabs her and starts choking her.
And the hands.
Yeah.
The hands.
The hands were
killing me. They were so bad.
Well, I liked them later on in the movie when he was stroking that girl's face because they looked for a second not CG, and I could have liked that.
Stroking her face.
When it was when Ren was in the library, when he was just like touching her, like he was caressing her.
I know, that felt so weird though.
I liked
just, like
that.
brushing her face.
I liked that because like, okay, he's being a little creepy because before he's just a figure, he touches you and you're gone. At least he's toying with her a little bit. Like it's literally 10 seconds. But
I guess.
So this thing with Chloe, and this is where it's like kind of like scary movie. He's choking her, and then they cut to the window, and she's just choking herself.
She's like, ah! Like she's looking at herself in the mirror.
It's kind of like if we were filming something like, how do you want me to do it? Like this, like this, like, and then you use that take, and then this would happen. So Katie went missing. There's rumbling at school, like where's Chloe, blah, blah. They're saying she's sick, and I thought, oh, they're just covering for her. She is missing, but no, apparently she's like, they're saying she's sick, and they go to her house. Yeah, she's got a cold. They go to her house, and Chloe's just like has huge bags. She's just saying, and she's just like walking into the window. Chloe, you gotta step out of it, Chloe. And again, just like Ren, you never see her again. She never plays because I thought, okay, they're gonna do the classic. She's possessed, and she's gonna go after her friend, something like that, which I didn't really want. But like, okay, that's a plot point. But no, she's just possessed, and so does that mean she came to the woods? Because to me, Slenderman takes you. I didn't think he possessed you and just let you chill out at home. Because she didn't have it. She didn't do anything to the plot. She didn't set them up. She didn't go after them. So she's just at home possessed, just walking into fucking windows, choking herself.
When they're reading the rules, right, where it's like he'll either take you or just like scramble your mind, like you're just insane for the rest of your life. But it's like, that just felt so random though, because when they're originally like looking into the Slenderman, it's like he takes children, go into the woods, and then they're just gone again.
Later when she
but it's like, oh no man, he fucking possesses you.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd have to go in to like Creepypasta and see if that's been incorporated in the Slenderman myth. Because to me, it was just always.
I never heard of that. So
I thought it was just he just took the kids, you know. Yeah. So maybe they added that. But this is the thing: why they add it? They don't do anything to that character.
Yeah.
She's just possessed, and she doesn't hurt them. She doesn't help Slenderman. She's just at her home, and we never come back to her. So it's like, what actually happened to that character? Her going just scrambled, right? She's at home, and like, I'm sorry, if your kid's walking in a fucking window, that's more than a cold.
Mom's just doing the dishes. Chloe, get back to your bed.
That's like, more than a cold. So
I know. And it's okay. Yeah, we should probably go in order.
Bit more. So we'll go back to Katie. So that's. I mean, I don't want to shout anybody. I try not to, let aside shout anybody specifically as a bad actor, but they. Maybe it's just what they had her do, but there's just so many times from the beginning of this movie, even before the Slenderman stuff's happening, she's just constantly looking off into fucking nowhere, and it's super obvious, and just they'll be talking and just like, I'm sorry for audience, but she's just like, in the most, like I said, I don't know, I don't want to rail on the girl. So like I said, I'm going to throw it on script or how they directed her, but it just came off very scary movie-ish, very comedy, like you're trying to make a comedy horror. Like the way she's just looking and the way she disappears is so frustrating because her friends and her watch this creepy-ass video and they see her just staring off into nowhere and they're like, hey, Katie. They do that so much time in this movie. Hey, so-and-so, hey, and take the fight response. So, hey, Katie, she snaps out, come on, let's go. They start to walk, Katie right away, boom, like looks in the forest again. They don't give a fuck. They just keep walking, and then
Katie will catch up. Like, just keep going.
And then when the cops come and like they report missing, they can't find her. They're like, "Did you see where she went? No. Did you see where she went? She was with arm's length. Why do you keep walking without her?
Katie, let's go. Like, why would you not just like
They clearly it'd be different if she was just looking and they were in conversations and then they walked off. But they clearly already stopped once because they were concerned and be like, "Hey, you good? You alright? Like stop looking at that and come with us." But they're like, okay, gave up. We tried once, they left. Like it was so frustrating, and we didn't even see the inception of her like meeting Slenderman. It's just she stares in the woods, and she's
It
gone.
was a huge question mark. Like, she's literally, like, exactly what you said. Like, you're expecting there to be an actual scene of her, like, wandering in the woods. No. It's like, as soon as she's just like, Katie, and then she just looks in the woods, go to the next scene. We don't know what the fuck's happening. No. Like, why is it dark all of a sudden? And it's like, did you know where Katie went? It's like, what the fuck happened? Like,
and there's not even just them. This was a school field trip. There's tons of people
like,
around.
Where's the teacher doing head counts?
Oh, I know. And that was the bad thing. Whenever they went to her looking, because she did it a lot for the 10 minutes she was in, I laughed almost every time. And which was weird, because I got the vibe at the beginning, because they kind of play up that, oh, she might ran away from home because she brings up that she's the one with the alcoholic father. Yeah. She says she wants to run away, blah, blah, blah. Did you get the vibe at the beginning of the film? They were making what was her character? Haley, the main girl. I thought they were gay together. With the way they were taking photos and playing with each other's hair.
That's right.
Yeah, and I also thought that
I totally forgot about that.
I thought that was going to be a plot point to go towards her running away, of maybe that, you know, she's not comfortable with sexuality yet, stuff like that. So I thought, oh, that's on, but okay, they are just friends, and I know girls are obviously more touchy than guys were, but the way they were
was very.
It was they were cuddling and
they
really
were
playing with each other's hair. Like, to me, I've seen girls take photos together and do that type of stuff, and this was like, I got that vibe, and then it just dropped off. So I guess they're just good friends, but it felt like a plot point that came up wasn't happening, and so Katie's gone, and fair enough, she goes missing, and then Chloe gets her mind scrambled, and then Rem does like study session for a whole 20 minutes, which is
in the library by herself, and she's
there's
like,
a library in there, you know.
There was like 2 though, and I swear there was like students in there, but for whatever reason she didn't like ask for anyone while she's just tripping nuts.
No.
I mean, you could argue that she's just in her mind, you know, like she's not actually freaking out, but like. That was a long scene.
It was a long scene. I liked portions of when she was in the library, but I found most of the time this movie just did like a lot of shaking to scare people, or things were going all over the place.
Yeah, because
it wasn't scary.
No.
I did like him coming at her, like I said, him kind of caressing her face. That was a little off, but there wasn't enough of that. And then he gave her the Slenderman face, which... Okay, like,
I don't find
it was alright, but it went nowhere because it was like a dream sequence.
But it's like, is that supposed to be scary though? Like me watching that, like, oh man, she's got the Slenderman face now. No one's gonna know who she is.
Yeah, and it's just a dream sequence.
Yeah, so. Like as soon as that happened, I'm like what? Like this could either go 2 ways. In the moment, I wasn't thinking this, but like it could go like a couple ways. One, it's a dream sequence, which it was. And then 2, she just lives out her days looking like Slenderman, which that doesn't make any sense.
No.
She can't breathe because she has no orifices.
No.
Like, I mean, watching that, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was just so confused as to where we were going, and I wasn't feeling, like, suspensed at any moment. I wasn't feeling like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like
I was like, this needs to end. We need to get out here.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh,
and that's so the thing is, so they're missing, and then this is what really threw me off because we're gonna transition into the scene that you thought was the funniest in the movie. So we'll get there. But to start off, so 2 of their friends are missing, and Haley has had some creepy stuff, and she was the person we're referring to, non-spoilers. She likes this boy named Tom and everything like that, and he's inviting her over at his place. And this is the moment where she just keeps seeing Slenderman. Like, she keeps, and Tom's like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, and is still not worried about this girl at all. But she's seen Slenderman, and when she talks to Ren about it, she doesn't do the classic horror thing of like, oh, I didn't see in the internet. Yeah. She tells Ren of like, I did see something while I was talking to Tom and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. And then they do, what
that was a bizarre, like, trade, too. Because she was telling Ren that she saw Slenderman while she was talking to Tom, and then Ren just got all pissed off that she brought up Tom. No, like, why did you bring up Tom? It's like, what? Like, that was kind of weird, right?
What was the mission? Oh no, right, they went, that was their only mission. They went to go see Chloe, and Chloe was messed up, and they just left. And then, so this is the thing, so Katie's missing, Chloe's messed up, and Haley has seen Slenderman. She's physically seen Slenderman, and she's told Ren that she's seen her, but then they have this scene in a parking lot where Haley's like, didn't work, doesn't, like, no, she didn't say didn't work, she says, I'm over this, like, I'm done with this, and she's like, what do you mean?
You just lost your 2 best friends.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's all right, and she's like, what? And then Ren's like, what do you mean it's all right? So she's seen Slenderman, they've done this whole thing, and then they do this breakup out of nowhere, like, this isn't a thing. I'm just gonna go hang out with Tom. And she's like, Tom's not gonna fix your problems. And as she's walking away, she shoots her best friend the bird while all this shit's going on, and she's seen Slenderman.
What a cold-hearted bitch.
I would understand, like, in movie world, how this works, how Screenrun works. That character then should not have seen Slenderman at this point.
No,
she should still believe or not believe it.
That would actually make sense.
She's seen Slenderman. She sees that Chloe's fucked up just walking into a window over and over. But she's like, I'm done with this. Whatever. Like, I don't know. The writing, it made no sense whatsoever. And then she gets to Tom's house.
Yeah. Oh,
you wanna talk about Tom's?
Yeah, I'll take back.
Because we both lost, but Kirkland really lost. Mine losing it was the tree moment. This was his. The other shot before you go was one character, Katie. Was it Katie or Chloe? They had a lamp of Jesus. It was very.
Holy fuck! That was. Okay.
It was crazy.
Actually, no. That's after that scene. So we'll go.
Okay, we'll save that. Yeah.
So
nuts.
Haley, she goes for a date.
Yeah. Tom invited her over.
Sorry. Quickly before that, when she's doing her makeup. What the fuck?
Terrible.
Like,
well, no,
okay. Well, sorry. I'm gonna let you finish. But where I was going, because I swear in the woods she opened her like one eye. Mm-hmm. That might have been Chloe. I might just be.
No, that was Chloe that did that.
Okay.
That was Chloe.
See, and in the moment, I thought that was Haley that lifted her one eye, so her one eye would have been sagging if she saw it with. That's why that was my mindset, because she's like. She's got a bag on under her one eye. She's like, oh, so then, sorry. Well, that's what I thought it was.
She did a terrible job of makeup because she's doing makeup. When she shows up Tom's house, her bags are still bad as fuck. Like
zero makeup on.
Yeah,
like, not ready for that date.
Hi, Tom. But you know what? Tom doesn't care. Tom's ready.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Tom's ready to lose that VR.
It must be a small town, man.
Yeah, man.
Every scene when they're in the streets, there's not a single soul anywhere. So it must be a small town.
But yeah, so she's over to Tom's place.
Shows up
and. No parents.
No parents. Nope. Yeah, whatsoever. It's like, oh,
work trip, book club, which very risky. Work trip. I was like, okay, dad out of town. Book club. That book club could get canceled. Something happened. Kids are going missing. Your mom could show up at any time. So very risky.
That
Tom.
is very risky.
When you bring a girl over to your place, no one's home for the night. So like, book club? Come on now. Like, what if they show up with the entire crew? Like, oh, book club's here tonight, sweetie. Like, there was a flood at Diane's place. We had to come over here, Tom. I'm sorry. Like, and they're not even in Tom's bedroom. They're right on the couch. Like, really risky, Tom.
It's like his dad's like music collection, showing his albums. Oh man, you're such a music geek. Which I didn't even know a music geek was a thing. I've never heard that term in my entire life.
Well, I guess he is because he has a lot of albums, but like I just think she should have said fan, not geek, because it's just like
music geek.
Yeah, and then the other thing is you're gonna talk more about that scene on the music. So she's on the couch. She's obviously trying to set the mood. He kind of has some like light rock and roll, some soft rock. And they're all records. We didn't explain that. So she's going through them. Oh, you're music geek. And then he puts a track on, hits the thing, 5 seconds. Like, I can turn this off if you like. He literally just turned it on.
She like commented on it too. She's like
nice music.
Yeah, it's like nice music. He's like, do you want me to change it?
I can change it. We're 5 seconds in. She's complimenting the music, and it wasn't even like in a cute like, oh, he's really nervous. It was just like there was so many times in this movie that there was just dialogue for the sake of dialogue. Like I know we're jumping back, but at one point when they were just like, if you could stay with any age, what would you be? I'd be 30. I'd be 10.
Shit,
I'd be right now.
Literally first 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, this is not good. But anyways,
so back to Tom. So yeah, they put the record on.
Yeah, so they've set the record on. You know, they got the mood. Tom comes, sits next to her, give him that manly figure, and like, I don't even know if they said a word. They just started making out
right away. Haley is, and she's the one that initiates it too.
There was no like signals or anything, or like no like brushing the arm, you know, like
he did plop down with his arm there, but I have not gotten to the point of, because the weird thing is, we won't talk about what happens, but like after that scene, they do talk a little bit. Then they talk about Slenderman creepy stuff, but all we know is like they've had a few hallway scenes of like, hey Tom, hey whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There was no like indication that they even had a thing going on. It's like, oh hey Tom, like
there's no Amazing Spider-Man like. Gwen Stacy, Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker, cute scenes of them in the hallway talking. Like, all you need is just one scene to talk about how they like each other. Because even the scene when he invites her over, he's just like, hey, how's it going? Good. Hey, you want to come over? That has never fucking worked for me in my life, just to walk up to a girl. I think I've never got her number, but like, hey, can I have her number? Walk up to a girl. Hey, maybe for some gentlemen, good for you, but I've never been able just to pull off, walk up to a girl. You want to come over?
I know you don't know me well.
Yeah,
but you want to come over to my house?
We've talked to each other twice saying, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? You want to come over to my house? What the fuck? Even then, when she's like, your parents are at home? That's okay, right? Oh, yeah. Like, she's DT. Like, they're both, like, raging hormones going on right now. They don't respect. They just know what's up. They didn't even...
very stressed. I feel like she should be stressed. Her two friends are just gone.
Well, maybe she's looking at it like, you know what, I don't got much time in this life. Tom's a good-looking chap. Like, let's just do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, right, no conversation. They sit down, just start kissing.
Start kissing, just going at it.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting a little physical. You know, the music's going nice and smooth. And the next thing you know, it sounds like the famous like tree noise. It was like a scratch of the record.
Yeah, they kind of spliced them together.
But it was like like I don't even know how to describe the noise.
They kind of use like the Slenderman's like they're because
the Slenderman's noise.
Yeah, they're watching. This will be as popular as Halloween, Michael Myers. They make it. It's almost like a virus of like almost like the old school when you were trying to connect to the old and they're like it's like that mixed with like some tree rustling. Like it's a bunch of like random sounds like almost nails on a chalk. Like it's a sound that's meant to like it's a sound that's meant to hurt you right away. But they kind of splice it with like a skipping of a record. Totally. So you're like, oh, what could that be?
Yeah. So she hears that immediately like jumps and then she's like, did you hear that? Yeah, sounds nice, right? Holy shit, man! They're writing this movie. That's another conversation. Anyways, we'll keep going for the sake of it. You know, just playing along. You know, they're going again at it again. She hears another noise. Kind of looks over. I don't remember all the details of the scene. I just remember she looks over. And then the way that the camera follows her field of view, so you know when she turns back, Slenderman's gonna be behind Tom or some shit, or you know like something's gonna be weird, like you're gonna see vines or something. Something's gonna go on. She looks over, no man, Tom's the fucking Slenderman basically. His he's not Slenderman, but his face, and he's got like a grin too.
Well, his face does three. His face is three different things because, like, to set it up earlier in the movie, they show different things where the characters will see certain characters online or maybe people in the like not in the school. I can't remember, but they had set up earlier where it's like a person's face will now be a bit blurred, and it looks like you've seen The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, right?
Yeah.
Remember those bugs, the scalps when they go in there and they go? That's what it looks like. Their face is blurred and it looks like their scalps going through. So they've set this up, but the thing is, his mouth does three separate things. One point he has a huge grin, and his like eyes are like they're twirling, like trying to hypnotize you. And then the one that broke me is like his lips get like puckered. They're like
he was going in for more makeup.
Yeah, he's like a big. They're like puckered, and then they like stretch out. It's like that Mario Party level when you gotta make the faces.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And he's just like smiling, his face. And like we can't do it justice because it's CGI galore. But like, and the room is spinning, and she's just like, "Oh no, Tom, no!" And like, there's three separate faces, and then she just freaks out. He's like, and then it switches back. Kirklin's then at the end. She's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" But again, cool. Tom, coolest guy in the room because he's just getting her water after. Like she just fully pushes him off. He's like, "You good?" And then that scene was outrageous. Like they meant it to be scary, but it was scary movie like. It was comedic. It was so cheesy.
I know, like to their credit, it threw me off guard. I'm not saying it scared me. It's just I never expect like it was like you know when you have like a filter, like a funny filter, like back when those were like you're like kind of messing with your face and you're just kind of giggling. It was like that, but it was three different shots all at once.
And it's supposed to scare you.
Oh no!
And it's supposed to scare you, but it's not doing that.
I was like bursting out laughing, and then I'm not gonna say anything, but like in a couple more scenes, it just like hit me again what happened, and I'm like bursting out laughing. Like still, it's like. Holy shit, man! Like this movie. Anyways, we'll go back to that scene.
Well, we're done. The only thing I want to talk about that scene because we'll tie in later. Because I guess we can finish up with Tom as well.
The video. Because she tells Tom what happened to Katie, right?
So this is the. Remember when they're on the forums? They're on the forums at the very beginning. Looking at all the
what does he say?
looking at all the Slenderman myths, and there's people recounting their stories. And there's one like, I saw him. He had like big wings, and he was huge, and he had no face. And there's just like some commenter down below that said, "That's disappointing."
Yeah, like that guy literally left a comment on this movie. I swear they like took that and threw it in the movie.
Yeah.
This is a disappointment. That's
and like it was so weird that they were trying to set up like all these myths, and then like for some guy being like, "That's disappointing."
Such a random like.
And
how
it's
does
like
that go along with anything that they're saying?
Well, no, it's like so. It's like somebody that if they did believe in Slenderman, and it's like we saw him and he had 8 wings and he was huge, he had no face. And it's just like, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, what were you expecting from Slenderman? All the pictures of him, he has no face and he's a stocky figure.
Yeah,
Like
maybe it's like, okay, that's a little disturbing. Oh no, that's disappointing.
Well, and I guess maybe they set the mind control thing a little bit, but they didn't really because so when there's a video. Who's the video? Oh, they find. Okay, we'll finish up with Tom. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to the forums because Tom's not much in the movie after. So, Tom, the main point was
a good scene.
They took like half an hour, these girls, who knows how long, to find the video. Tom just gets in Google, searches something,
on
like
her
that
phone.
video.
He like grabbed her phone and like just looked it up on Google.
Yeah.
Like what the
And then
hell?
she's like, hey, that video in the video player, ready to go. No choice whatsoever. No, Tom, don't. Tom, please don't. And he's just like almost egging her on. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. But they literally have this conversation like, you need to promise me you won't watch this video. And he goes, I won't, I promise. There's a scene later where she's trying to get a hold of Tom, and she's texting him, hey, I haven't heard from you in a few days, yada yada. We see their previous conversation, verbatim. It was, hey, don't watch that video for me. And then he said, no, I won't, I promise. So she texted him the same conversation we just had in the last scene. It's the same thing happens later on. Ren has a thing where she tells, we're jumping a little bit, but she tells Haley, like, he doesn't want the things he loves. He wants us. And then it's 2 minutes later, and they're using that voiceover, and they're doing flashbacks. Like, he doesn't want the things we want. They do this, like, Squad did this a lot, where they will say something, and then literally 5 minutes later, do a flashback to that scene, or voiceover, or tell you.
Just to, like, jam it down your throat. Did you forget this? I hope not.
And it's the most basic stuff ever. At least with Squad, they're dealing with a fucking witch, and there's a jar. This is just, hey, don't watch that video. And then a comment, don't watch that video. We get it. Tom doesn't need to watch the video. And then clearly, Tom watched the video. Like, what an idiot. Like, if he's trying to get some ass, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
He's
comes into class next day looking like a fucking crackhead.
Oh, yeah. Looking
He's
like he
like,
walked out of Breaking Bad.
He had like, oh, like, do you see like a bruises around his wrist?
Well, that's why I assume Slenderman, like, grabbed him.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I was assuming. But that's the thing again. Like,
no evidence that ever happened, though, in the movie.
Well, it does. And that's the thing when we talked about again with the rules, and we were a little vague in our non-spoilers, they don't explain. Like, okay, so whatever, the mind control, getting caught, whatever, take out that stuff. To me, they never explained how Slenderman, when was the time to get you? Because, like, with Tom, it seemed like he watched that video, class was the next day, and Slenderman had gone. But in the movie, when we watched it at the beginning, for some reason they do a fucking 1 week later jump. Very randomly. Hot thing to do in movies, but, like, they watched the video and then, boom, 1 week later. I guess they did that so that it should show, like, oh, Katie was looking at all the stuff. Fine.
Or like she was having nightmares like every night.
True.
Maybe that's...
But the thing was, all these other girls, like, why did they not have experiences right away? Because Tom watched this video less than 24 hours. Slenderman's grabbing him and bruising him, like...
Maybe on his way to class, that's why he was late. Slenderman grabbed him.
Yeah, don't go. Yeah. And that's the thing, too, like... There's another scene later on, which is not gonna, like, it'll come up again, but like, Haley's walking through the hospital and she's seeing random stuff. She's seeing the googly faces again. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, why can't Slenderman get them then? Like
it doesn't make any sense.
They don't establish when and when he can't get you.
It's like, it's exactly what you were saying in the non-spoilers, where it's like you take a movie like Nightmare on Elm Street, where you know exactly what's gonna happen. It's
don't
like,
fall asleep.
The kind of dozing off, and then once shit's kind of getting weird, you're like, hey, you must be asleep, so shit's gonna go on.
Is he in a dream?
And then it's like this one. There's no like, there's no pattern. There's no pattern, right?
Yeah.
Like, Katie just she's just gone. Nothing. Like, so was that a week after? Like, that was after the time skip, right?
It was 1 week. Because it's assuming they watched the video 1 week. She's stressed and she's talking to Kitty 33. Like, and then and that's
the catfisher on the online.
Okay, I want to talk about her for a second because I guess the last thing I guess to talk about with the rules. What was it? Oh, because at first I thought they were establishing the woods, like he can fuck with you, but he can't get you unless you're in the woods. which does make sense for Katie because they're by the woods, right. Chloe because she was in the woods when she got possessed, right. And it does make sense for Haley because she goes back to the woods, but still doesn't explain Ren getting pulled through a window through a fucking tree. And that's the same thing too. That's in that category of like, how would they explain, okay, Katie missing, Chloe maybe she's sick, Haley went missing in the woods. How they explain Ren? There's clearly a broken window, destroyed, like, and there's no body, so you would think, hey, that's a home intrusion, that's something. It's not one of these like, oh, they just went missing. Yeah, like, that broke the rules again of like, all these other people have gone missing, but this was, there's an attacker, they took her and like, bad CGI aggressive. So, before we talk, like, no, I want to talk about Katie. Kitty 33, and then we're close to the ending now, but, so Kitty 33 is this blogger that apparently, Katie found, which I have so many problems with this Katie storyline. So she's talking, one I want to bring up, she posted a video, which is the most... Holy fuck, I forgot about that video! That was like the cringiest thing! Oh yeah, that's when I started all weird in a bad mode. So Katie is like...
Yeah, just describe the video.
There's like, so I guess the idea is almost, this is what I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm so long. So this Kitty 33 person almost seems like a cult enthusiast, right? Like, or they love Slenderman because she's kind of egging it on, saying like...
It's like she knows more about
exactly
how it works.
Exactly.
Like the rules behind
and the thing is, because we also saw in that forum of people saying like, he showed me the path or stuff like that, which I don't understand because to me when he shows you the path, that means he would kidnap you, right? And that's the thing. Would he possess you, and is he talking to those people? But that doesn't make sense because Chloe's possessed, she's not doing anything. And at one moment we'll talk about Kitty 33, but her ending is very random and doesn't make much sense at all. We'll get to those photos too. So Kitty 33 is talking to Katie. Katie posts a video. We'll talk about the video in a second. But she goes, wow, that looks like you had a great experience. So again, I don't know what the deal is with this Kitty 33. It's like, is she, Slenderman's leaving her out there to get more people? I digress. We'll never know. We'll never know. But so this video...
I didn't even think about that, actually.
Right? Because why would she be like, you had a great experience there. But then, like, later on... So, okay, well, before we get to the video, Kitty, what happens is... this movie's all over the place.
All over it's like, I thought we were going all over the place with this review, but that's literally what the movie's like. So this is doing it.
So maybe you caught this, I didn't. So their grand idea is... Did they take Katie's laptop with them? Because they're constantly logging into her account. What the fuck? If she's missing, and now it's been a few days now, if she's missing, and in this day and age, if there's fucking people constantly logging into her laptop, and there's no signs, and especially talking to Kitty 33 here, no signs, and that's one thing that bugged me, just like her and Haley do it. But that's the thing. Was it a laptop? No, I don't think it was a laptop. They were just signing into her like a messenger app. Yeah. Because they did it from separate laptops. Because she's
like, this is Haley.
Yeah.
Because before it's like, this is friend Katie. It's like, Katie's a friend of mine.
Oh, no. It was...
Any friend of
Katie's a friend of mine. It was like, oh, is this Tom? Fuck. But no, like... No, so that's what it was. They're signing messenger. Still, they would ding it. Like nowadays, if someone's missing and if they track that phone...
like, oh man, the cops took the laptop. It's like, why did she hide it in her... bedroom. And it's like, so it's a missing person, yet they didn't go through her things. They didn't go into her clothes. They didn't
not at all. No. And even the drunk father, when like, there's a drunk father. Oh my
God. There's so many problems with this.
There's so many problems, so we'll get back to him. So Kitty 33, you talk about this great experience. And then we jump to later on. So Ren's been talking to her because she's trying to find out how to stop Slenderman. And then eventually Haley starts talking to her. And then, oh no, Haley's like, I need your help, blah, blah. And then as she's talking to her, Kitty 33, account terminated. So random. But like, and then how does she get the link of the reveal what happens to Kitty 33?
That's a good question.
I don't remember that, but either way, there's a link.
That's a really good question, though.
There's a link somehow, so we've forgotten that. Sorry, there's a lot to digest in this film. But there's a link that shows, like, it's something to do with... she's just looking... I think she's looking at Haley's That's what it is. Haley had a book, and she put a bunch of shit in it of, like, look at this. She's like, remember in the parking lot? She's like, I'm not crazy. Read through this. Like, there's currencies of all these people going missing.
Yeah.
So I think Haley, because Ren is just completely fucked off. She's like, we need to stop this. And then she's like... Well, it's too late now, and it's like, well, okay, you've just given up. So whatever. So she's looking through that, and she's looking through the missing person. So they're showing all these kids got missing, and there's like, almost like the top of the chain, like a new one.
Right.
And it shows like it's Kitty 33, and it's like,
Well, no, because it showed like a mental health report. Like she was
right,
like,
but it's
like
Kitty.
registered.
It's Kitty.
Yeah.
We know it's Kitty 33.
For some reason, it has her name, and then as if like when you
It
go to
has,
the
like, her-
hospital, it's got her username, her account name.
But the best thing is, and this is what we'll talk about the continuity of this film, doesn't make sense, but so it's like there's two photos, and there's two photos, and then before it's like before and after she went in the woods. The before photo is just like a cute little girl just like making a pose, and then the after one is just her in the just someone
like Chloe.
If Kirklin, Chloe, but it's like if Kirklin came up to me and said, "Hey, dude, can you just take a picture of my eyes?" Like, and there's a lot of fucking like global news, like whatever NBC, like it's just a picture of her eyes and that thing, and you can see she has like a mini smirk, and it's like, and like, to be honest, in real life, that publication would be shut down. They would not fucking dare post a photo of a little girl who's disturbed, and like that, maybe you would nowadays, but you'd get shit, but just like this before and after, and the shot they use of just like I said, for the audio, so it's just like, it's a close-in on her cheeks and eyes, and she's like looking like she's smiling, and she has big bags.
Huge bags.
But it was so out of context, because the first photo is a full body shot.
It was like a totally different thing.
And the next one is like a selfie like put up there. So that's Kitty 33. That's a character. She's gone after that.
She's gone. She's a write-off character.
But what happens in Kitty 33? She's in this chat, and the friends are going through it, like, oh, who is Katie talking to? Blah blah blah. There's this video. She posted a video. She's like, look, I saw him last night.
Holy shit.
This video is literally like if you are doing a vlog. It's the same thing. Like if you watch Work Hard Wolf Fire, the GeekVerse, when we do that with the car, if you know what a vlog is, she has her phone, she's holding it out, and she's just like, the shot is just of her for the first 10 seconds walking through the woods, just on her looking around, and then she's like, oh, it's like, no, and then like she sees shadows, and it's like it's that dinosaur from Jurassic Park, but then she's last, and then the whole time she's just like, no, and then the video,
no,
and then the video ends. The video is, hey, I saw him last night. You don't see Slenderman, the whole thing. If I am fucking searching, if we went ghost hunting, and if we've talked about this before Halloween, going through like finding a haunted place in BC and doing a cast from there. If we're walking around, sure, we had some footage of talking, but we'd be like, what's that? What's that? The entire video is just her face.
She's like this. It's like such an awkward way to hold her phone, too. Like, I feel like if she's hunting Slenderman, like,
she's hunting Slenderman. She's not taking a new fucking Instagram
this is evidence
story photo.
Yeah. It's like Facebook Live.
Yeah.
This is me on the woods, guys. I'm looking for Slenderman.
And no, it's weird. Like, we're jumping forward, but Ren also has a video, and she does the same thing. Until she shows we won't talk about the mystery person, but it's just the same thing. The shot of like, because clearly they want to see the actors reacting, right? Like, I guarantee you they're writing this, and they're like, we want a scene of them in the woods, and we want to see them being scared. But how do we do that? I know every kid has phone. They'll eventually shoot themselves. And you could have done that, but they should have done like her getting scared. Because I thought it'd be her getting scared, drop the phone, and the last frame would be like, oh, Slenderman, Slenderman. You don't even see. You just see shadows. You just see shadows. So and that was Katie in the video.
That noise of the dressing.
Fuck! I found a dinosaur too, guys. But that's the thing. Okay, we weren't done with Kitty 33. So that's the thing. So she's talking to Katie like she knows stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then then we find out, oh, you had a great experience. Then she finds out, like, we see the account's been terminated, and then after we get that link of, this was her after the woods. So was she in the fucking woods with a laptop talking to these people? That's me. I don't understand, like.
Yeah, it's like,
what
it's
was
weird
that?
though, because like, kind of like what you say, where it's like, oh, does Slenderman possess you, and then he could communicate, but they didn't like go on that at all. Chloe did not speak whatsoever. She was just mind scrambled. Kitty Cat, whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah.
Like you don't know anything. Like you don't know how she's messaged them. You don't know how long she's been fucked.
No.
Like you don't know if she's been possessed.
And when she's randomly caught out of the woods, and it's just like, where did this come from? Like, it made no sense. Like, because she doesn't even set them up or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's like, when she was talking to them, or like, and then it goes to her like from the woods. Like, how long ago was that?
Yeah.
But she was just chatting, and then she terminated her account somehow, or someone did it for her.
I guess her parents did. Well, like, that could have been it though. Realistically, I guess. Hey, your daughter's laptop's open. Someone's meshing her. I'm gonna terminate that.
Yeah.
But still, it was just that didn't make sense of. it almost felt like she had went through the Slenderman experience and she was still alive, but apparently she was still in the middle of it while she was talking.
Yeah.
But then they should have gone to, I guess, maybe we're just supposed to assume, I guess I'm just assuming, and maybe I'm just dumb, but I feel like they just don't do a good job in the movie. I guess we're assuming that it's just Slenderman using her to talk to people, but they just don't do a good job of establishing that. We have to assume that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We have to do that for so much of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
so let's
man.
talk. We talked about Ren's little ending there. I wanted to talk about, so obviously there's like a semi-big twist. So after Haley sees morphed Tom and she's fully believing again, Kitty's terminated, everything like that, she's trying to track Ren down, knocks on the door for fucking half an hour and then opens it. I know you're in there, but like it wasn't half an hour, it just felt like there's a lot of knocks. So she's going after Ren. Ren is about to, for some reason,
Okay, yeah, that scene, she's gonna suicide off her like 2-story house.
Ren, why are you up there?
Yeah.
And here's the setup. It's not, hey, I'm down here on the balcony and Ren's on the roof. Literally, it's the window and Ren's standing on the edge of the window and Haley's right beside her. What are you doing? Get down from there.
Yeah.
You could just pull her down. She's your best friend. So that was awful.
Ren,
Yeah. Don't
get down from there.
And she waits until she jumps, which is gonna dislocate your arm. But anyway, she does that.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Once again, we're not explained to me if was that Slenderman, was that her actually trying to like commit suicide because she was just so
or she was like jumping into the tree.
Yeah. Oh god. That's what I mean. We don't know. But either way, I messed up. So the reason that's why. So that happens. They're talking, and this is when Ren is explaining to her, "You can't give up the things you love. He just wants us." Which doesn't make any sense for the rules we've gotten earlier, because then what was the point of this whole scene where, I guess we didn't describe it good enough, but Chloe, Haley, and Ren, they go to the forest with things they love. One goes with like a picture of their dad.
Pottery pot that they made in like grade 1.
Something
this
like,
meant a lot to me.
Yeah,
That was another.
And they destroyed it, and it was supposed to
level.
hope Katie was going to come
So
back.
Haley's whatever she had.
Yeah.
My grandma made this, and then she like she made it for someone.
She died 8 days later or something like that.
Oh, the grandma died 8 years later.
Well, it was both. She
I
died.
thought she was talking about like a sibling of hers that passed away.
No, it was a grandma, and then
I was
Chloe's
so
was,
confused.
Chloe's was, I think it was like 8 years later actually, and then like that picture of Chloe and her dad was something like, oh, and then 10 days later he got cancer. Of us together, something like that. So, and then Haley's was some fucking bot. But so yeah, they try to bring back. So they establish. Like, that's a rule in this movie. You got to do something to bring them back. And then later on, like, no, that's not a rule. But the reason, this is why I want to talk about this. I think they're going for a twist. That Ren's idea, she's looking at the account again. Haley's looking at the account. Jesus, there's so many fun characters. Haley is on Kay's account with the conversation with Kitty, looking at the videos. Haley has taken over his account, so she's been talking to Kitty. Yeah. She sees a video she's posted. Haley took, Ren took Haley's little sister, who we didn't talk about, but she's in the scenes. She doesn't do much in this movie. She's just like, just really friendly with Haley.
Like, honestly, this is actually something I wanted to bring up earlier. It's not even like big on the movie. I literally had like fucking like Denny thoughts that this
Can
was
I
lizard.
come?
Yeah, no, there was literally
not this time.
It was
but you said
it was literally in the beginning. That they were, I think it was when they're in the
Denny
basement.
from The Room, to be honest.
Yeah, I literally like thought this movie was like The Room, because they're in the basement, I think, drinking, and they're like watching like fucking porn or something.
They're watching POV porn.
Yeah,
which is fair enough.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's funny enough.
It's like they like someone like said something, they like turned and laughed, and then immediately they just showed like no emotion, and it was literally like I was watching The Room.
It was Katie, because she was just staring off in the fucking even before Slenderman.
That was before Slenderman. Yeah. I literally just laughed. I'm like, that's fucking Denny. Or
yeah,
man.
well, the sister.
Sorry, that was a huge side note.
And then even then, when Ren opens the door, she's like, "Can I come this time?" I'm like, you just asked her sister. But anyway, so they've set up that she has a sister who is friendly with all her friends. She's just not old enough because they're drinking, they're watching porn. So obviously they don't want the little girl there. But Ren's idea, I guess, is, hey, because those pots and stuff didn't work, I'm going to use Haley's sister, because also we all love her, so it's the thing we love the most.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Well, what did you think the video was, for?
I thought she was just going ape shit crazy, and she was possessed by Slenderman, and then she just was...
After this movie, I can't tell you you're wrong, though.
I think
but I think
your
that's
theory makes sense, though.
But I guess because... The only thing is, which is still unclear, because when she sees Haley again after that, because Haley sees this video, she's pissed. So obviously it's her sister.
Because her sister's in the hospital.
Yeah, her sister's in the hospital, right? And Slenderman's obviously doing some shit. But then this is when she's like, I brought her there before I knew, and then she's like, before I knew he didn't want things with love, she wanted us. But that still doesn't like redeem you. You're still trying to sacrifice sister.
Yeah.
And before they can get into that, literally, that's when the tree comes and grabs her. So it's like any point where it's like, oh hey, we're getting some character development. This character did a shitty thing. She brought her best friend's sister as maybe a potential sacrifice. This could be interesting. No, kill her off. Done. And we don't. So it's just like Haley's also infected with Slenderman. If we weren't on, we forgot to mention too, Tom never heard from again.
Yeah.
Haley just texts him, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Nothing. He never comes back in this movie in a while, like at all.
He's got a cold.
He's got a cold as well.
Man.
And then so Haley, like, she's doing the stuff. She's at the hospital. Her sister, who pretty much had a coma, but then they just say it was a panic attack. I've seen people with panic attacks. That is not a panic attack. But like, fair enough, whatever. Stupid movie, so let's move along.
I honestly, when she was like freaking out in the bedroom, I thought she was giving birth right there. I'm like, she's gonna give birth to some slender beast.
Do you remember what happened in the mirror though? Remember after that date with Tom, Haley's having those dreams, and she goes to look in the mirror. She goes to like, she's about to throw up. She doesn't throw up.
Like the thing comes out.
It pans down, and she has like a pregnant belly, and Slenderman's like pushing through, and I was like, first of all, her and Tom didn't have sex. So I don't know why they're trying to make this weird thing, but yeah, they made this weird thing like she was pregnant, and then yeah, it made it look like it sounded like she was having a kid as well.
Yeah, she was like screaming, and then her like the way her parents were holding
holding
her,
the
her legs are like up,
yeah. So here's this. Not that this movie is any worse, but this does not make any sense. So
it's many of those moments.
Ren says this dialogue, and then Haley has a flashback of the entire movie, and it's just literally just Ren's dialogue played over again. So Haley has figured out that, you know, we're gonna have to sacrifice herself because I think we could assume that Tom survives. Actually, no, I don't know if we could, but he was in the flashback with the sister. I assume that she was like sacrificing herself so her sister could live, right? But if Tom watched the video on his own, he's fucked. So sorry, Tom. But the idea is she's gonna sacrifice herself for her sister. This really noble thing. And okay, maybe they can make it like that. They can make it. They could take the really artsy, noble route and make it cool and make it a story.
I mean, no fucking sense.
But what happens is, so she goes in the wood, and that's when this tree shit happens, where it's a pan on her, and she's walking through trees, getting hurt. But she goes in the woods, the Slenderman woods, and she's looking around, and she's scared. She sees Slenderman.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, didn't she hear Katie calling her into the woods, or is
that's in her like just flashback? So maybe there's some mental stuff there.
My bad. That was when she had the pregnant dream.
Yeah,
two dreams in one.
No, that was after Ren tells her all this stuff, and because Ren is talking about like to get the like. He wants us, and that's why she's having flashbacks of Katie. She's having flashbacks of Chloe, or just them in the woods. So it's more, I don't think she's calling out them, she's just seeing that they've been like sucked up by the woods.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah,
I'm assuming. But
kind
so pretty much in the woods, she wants to find Slenderman. She finds Slenderman, he appears, he like grabs her, and then she just said, what does she say? Like,
I don't even think he grabs her. She's just like, okay, like so from my perspective, she's
Jedi.
She's giving herself up to free your sister.
Yeah.
She came to that realization, I'm gonna die. This is it. I'm gonna just give myself to Slenderman. Comes up face to face with him. Total straight face. Like, she's not like having a panic attack. She just like sees him. She's like, alright, take me, or whatever.
Yeah, she says take me. She says take me. And then what happens is he gets his fucking Jurassic Park arms. But like, anyways, the Slenderman arms. And okay, and then what does she do?
Tom, no!
She runs away. She runs away, and we get and once again, anticlimactic thing. It's like a 30-second chase thing. She's running, she trips. Slenderman just gets her with the fucking like branches that wrap around her, puts her against a tree. Whoa, she puts her against a tree. That's it. The tree starts her up. Movie's not ended, but that is done for Haley's character. And that made no sense of like, so did she think that she was like, you know what, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, and then when she got there, she's like, fuck this shit, yeah, my sister can die. So then she ran away, like, I didn't understand, and this is the same thing.
That did not make any sense.
It's the same thing with the rules. Again, okay, so if the thing is, like Ren says, he wants us, right?
Yeah.
Why does she have to sacrifice himself? Slenderman took all the other ones. Why does she have to sacrifice himself?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because this thing of like, okay, he's going after my sister. Like,
because he wants her. But like, what's stopping him from just fucking taking a straight through her window and just grabbing
through
her
the
like
hospital, really? And that's the thing, like, I wish they would have done this way of like, oh, and maybe they were going through this, and maybe they're trying to be really subtle. I think it's just bad writing. Maybe they're trying to do this thing, and you tell me if you agree or not. Maybe they're trying to say that like Haley's Slenderman curse had passed on to her sister, so she had to go and sacrifice herself to take it back. But I didn't take it that way. I just took it as they both were fucked because they both went in the woods.
They both went in the woods.
And if that was like I was explaining there,
oh, did you seen the video?
like kind of like
right?
it's kind of like the grudge thing, right? Of like, oh, if you could pass it on. Like, that's what I thought they were maybe going for, but they don't. And if they were, they don't explain that at all. If there is anything, like, why does Haley have to sacrifice herself when all her 3 other friends have been killed?
Yeah.
They didn't have to sacrifice themselves. Slenderman, again, went, like, why does he need to sacrifice? Like, why? What's the difference between when he can't appear, when he can kill, when he can't?
Yeah.
It made no sense. And the fact that she ran away, I literally threw my arms in the theater. I'm like, I'm fucking down with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fair enough. They're going to go this arts route of, like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself. There'll be this moment, and like this small moment in the movie. No, she books it.
Fucking cheeses it.
Terrible chasing with terrible CGI.
It literally is over in less than like 20 seconds.
Oh yeah, and then she gets sucked in the tree, and then her sister wakes in the hospital. All her Slenderman, she has like some stuff on her face. It disappears. She's just screaming, "Haley,
like,
Haley!"
Why did he let Lizzie go though, or whatever her name was? Like, because they don't explain in the movie whatsoever that.
Well, I guess
we need to sacrifice it. Like,
we don't know for sure that she watched the tape, right? So maybe she just went to the woods, and maybe
she went on her computer, I thought, or she was just on the blog.
Well, she saw some stuff, but I think she found out more about because Ren took her into the woods, right? Remember with that video?
Yeah.
So I just took it as like she tried to sacrifice her, and that doesn't work. But Slenderman kind of like latched on to her a little bit. But again, we just have to like assume with all this stuff. We don't know. We're trying to make our own. We're trying to make this movie make sense, and it doesn't make sense.
So yeah.
Because it's almost like if you do one thing to the plot, then this stuff doesn't make sense. And if you fix that, well, that's
so true. Like you plug one hole and then another hole just opens, right? Like that's what this movie is, and you try and make sense of it, but at the end of the day, it's just a fucking bad movie. Bad writing.
I want to get to maybe my favorite part of the movie. So the little sister's screaming, "Haley, Haley!" The parents are, "What's wrong?" They're trying to calm her down. Cuts to black, okay? And then we get this voiceover of like, you know, oh, the Slender Man, you know, he grows on fear and all this. It was the sister growing up, almost. It sounded like an older voice, and it's just like, yeah, the Slender Man. Like, we don't know for sure it's the sister, right? It's just a girl's voice, and like,
fair enough. He
grows on fear, and like the people spread the myths, and this is how it happens. And then she's like, these people, almost calls them stupid or something like that. What does she say? She said something like these I think she says these creeps try to find out more information, so she shits on her friends and her sister.
And anyone that likes the story of Slenderman.
Yeah. And then she's just like, my sister and her friends looked into like, this is paraphrased, but it's almost kind of like what I'm saying, like they looked into Slenderman and it ruined their lives and found out, and this is what he wants. And this is an actual line, because the fear will spread through links and video clips and photos, you know? The end. The movie ends on narrative. I get that it's a teen movie, and I guess what we didn't mention is it's just showing shots of kids in school talking. Yeah. So it's kind of showing like they're spreading, like they're talking about it. But the little last line of this movie is just like, and he's spreading through fear and links and photos, like that, you know? The movie's over, and like, who the fuck wrote this? Who ends their movie on? You know, I get that.
Like,
I get that it's a teen movie and stuff like that, but like. This is the point where you make it a little adulty. I get a girl would say, you know, but like you need to watch it. I know it sounds so little, but when you watch it in context, it's so bad, and it's just this whole, it doesn't even make sense. And I guess that's the other thing too. I guess I can ask you like a phrase that doesn't even like have anything to do with the movie. Did you like the route of them knowing about the urban myth thing? Because I initially in this movie announced, I just thought it was going to be Slenderman as like a Freddy, a Jason. But they kind of played on the real world aspects of there's, you know, a Slenderman and it spreads through social media. So I kind of like that, but then at the same time I didn't, because I don't think they used that right.
I would have liked it more if they weren't like talking about the folklore. I feel like the reason why
for the sequel when this is a good movie.
Yeah, like I feel like the reason they did that is to like, oh, it's realistic, right? Like what?
And to capitalize on the hype of like the real stuff.
Exactly. So then people are like, oh, I've seen that photo online. Yeah. That's a real photo. You know, it's not Photoshop. So
well,
I feel
guess
like
it worked because that's the best thing about the movie. Like, oh, we've seen that photo.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Exactly, in the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I for a while assumed it was gonna be just Slenderman the movie, not real world bringing in, but they brought in like the forums, they brought in like social media, so I was a little caught off guard because I think there's only 2 trailers for this movie. I don't think it shows either way. Because even in the trailers are like Slenderman, he takes kids. Like they do that with Freddy, right? The kids said, "Oh, he gets you in your dreams." Like it's just people know about. And I almost think that would have been cool in the sequel to do the like people have like this legend build up. But I get why they did it. If this movie was better, I would be fine.
I agree with you. I think it would have been a lot better because I don't even think I watched a full trailer. Honestly, I think I watched like snippets. So from the snippets I saw, it didn't seem like it was based on the folklore. And, like it felt like it's just like a monster movie. You know, like they don't know anything. Like what is this thing? But yeah, like there's a couple things I wanted to go back to.
This movie was almost like an Avengers movie with the amount of stuff that happens in the movie, but the difference, none of it makes sense. None of it it's just all thrown out there. But yeah, what do you want to go back to?
Couple little things that just like it just kind of made me scratch my head. For some reason, everybody in this movie knows everybody's passwords on their computers. Yep. And Katie, did you notice how her little emblem, she has a Katie photo on her Katie laptop. Her background is a photo of herself.
Oh, yeah.
Like very self-absorbed.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of those self-absorbed people you can ask. I'm one of those vain people you can ask anybody. I'm always checking my hair, looking like, oh, am I gonna shape? I don't know how to have a single photo. Like, my phone lock screen is not a thing of me. Like, that was fucked up. Katie,
that was fucked up.
You deserve to go first.
Yeah. There was something else I was gonna say. I think it was around that scene, but while I'm remembering, I'll go on. First of all, I really agree with you that it should have been a short film. I think it could have been a really, really good short film. You know, like you don't know much, and
we always say that though after we see a movie that's bad, though, right? Yeah. It's a movie good, like, oh great, but every time we see like a horror movie,
it could have been like a really good, like
like you could have cut out tone, you could have cut out so much.
Like you don't even have to give them backstories. It's just like, you know, something creepy happens, and then at the end you kind of get a glimpse of Slenderman, but also, in the beginning of the movie, I was kind of thinking that we weren't going to see Slenderman much, like at all. Like you might see him like in the off distance, but not like fucking grabbing
like
him,
brushing her
like
face. See him every once in a while.
Yeah, and so yeah, that I forget what I was going to bring up originally.
Well, I have one point that we gotta go back on because we didn't we left it hang, was the alcoholic dad. I wanted to just a quick thing because
when he was in the house.
Well, yeah, that's Katie's dad. So Katie's gone missing, and then Haley's in her house with her sister. They hear some bang.
No parents, no lights.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Oh yeah. So obviously they think it's like she's worried. It could be Slenderman. She's locking the door. This guy's just banging the door. Blah blah blah. Bangs the door for a solid 20 seconds very hardly until he says, "Is Katie in there?"
She's like, "The police are on their way."
Usually you start with, "Hey, I'm so and so," and then you bang on the door. But my little point was, so he's super violent. He's like grabbing her, like, "Where's my daughter?" and everything like that. He's total Liam Neeson from Taken. And then he's literally out that same night. Like, he was in a house. He was breaking and entering. I would assume so, unless they didn't have the door locked. But still, he's trespassing. He's drunk. He has his hands on an underage child. And the cops picked him up, and he's just like a mess. But he's out that same night, and they go to the house to like look at Katie's shit and everything. Another thing this movie, I was like, what is happening? And then for some reason he has a problem with Haley, but he doesn't have a problem with Ren. He's like, come on in.
Come on, Ren, let's talk. And then they don't explain how they got out of the house or anything.
I guess the window again, probably, because they get through the. Oh no, they explain it. Because they said he'd always leave the back door open for her.
Yeah, so that's Ren was distracting him so they could go upstairs.
Yeah, so they went into the back door and then getting out. I guess they just backed. Well, oh no, that's what happened. I think she says it off camera that he does fall asleep because he's drunk. That's when Ren meets him up there and they, go down.
I thought they took the computer though, because they didn't explain anything else after the scene. They like get the computer and then it just goes to someone else's house. Yeah. I don't know. Do you have much else?
No, I don't. Like, unless something pops up, but this is a movie we need to watch with some people and do a commentary track, because this movie is fucking outrageous.
Man. There's like I almost want to do like with everyone, Like just that Tom scene, man. I just want to be watching like their reactions.
But would it be the same though if you only showed them a scene? You'd almost have to show them.
Oh no, watch the whole movie.
Oh yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I mean. But at that scene,
Okay.
I would be like, I'd kind of be glancing over.
You know, maybe how we'll do. We're planning on doing it concert trick. Maybe we'll do a Slenderman if it's on time, just to get the. I would rewatch it.
Keep your
with
ticket
them
for the super ticket. Remember?
Oh yeah, get that digital copy. And I said to Kirklin, like, I don't think I'm gonna go on this. Yikes, but. Yeah, maybe we'll. Because this is a movie though, because it is so bad, but it is so bad. It's not good, but it's so bad it's fun. Like I had a fun time at least, but that will not go into my rating because it wasn't fun enough where like this movie dragged so much, so slow. This movie should have been an hour.
Yeah, because like when we're talking about certain scenes, like thinking back when I had a good time, but in that moment I'm like, what am I doing here, man?
Yeah, I guess we should have expressed too. There's these moments where it's so dumb and outrageous stuff. But there's a lot of characters walking around slowly in places, whether that's the woods, so many tree shots, the library, houses.
As well.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. So there's a lot of stuff. We're shouting out the moments that were outrageous and funny and really bad, but there is just a lot of generic, boring stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
Like there's lots of that. So that takes it down a big notch. So yeah.
This is kind of related, I guess not really, but I remember, I totally forget the name of this movie, but I remember watching a movie a few years ago, and it was super interesting plot to it because it's kind of just like The Circle.
I know, I'm just shouting out because you hate that movie.
What the hell is this? Oh, Emma Watson movie. I'm like thinking a horror movie or something. Fuck that movie. Fuck The Circle. Horror
plot's super interesting.
So yeah, plot's interesting, and it was one of those moments where it's like kids are going missing, and then you think that there's just like a criminal stealing it, and then while you're watching it though, because they don't make any references to a Slenderman or anything, but while I'm watching this, I'm like, I kind of know this story. Like I feel like there's like a guy in a suit that's taking kids away from this town, and what had happens is that sorry, I don't know the movie, so like I don't know. I already know what I'm spoiling it, but I'm spoiling it. But at the end of the movie, what you realize is that it's actually a guy in a white dude in a suit, like taking children away, but he's taking children away from like these like abusive homes and like people that are like, so it's like they took the Slenderman story but like turned it and like a cool plot twist. So it's like you get to the end of the movie and you find all these kids, but they're like in like proper homes where like the parents aren't beating them and stuff.
I'm gonna look into it.
I totally forget about it.
It is probably dangerous searching man takes kids to good home, but you know.
I'll do some research and I'll let you know, but like that movie itself,
become like Ren. Get me those books and everything. Same thing. Ren. She's in that library for a long time doing research.
Oh fuck, man, Ren.
Yeah.
She is. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like this, I totally forget what it's called or anything. But I remember watching it, and it doesn't talk about Slenderman whatsoever. But just everything that they like talk about, how he takes children, a man in a suit. I'm like, this is totally based on Slenderman, but they're not saying that. And it was actually like a well put together movie. It's probably horrible. I don't know.
Tall man? Yeah, it might take a long. It
might be Tall Man. No, that doesn't sound right.
Which rescues young children from bad homes, places with good ones. It's a Canadian-French film, The Tall Man. Here we go. Let's get some. Because there you go. People.
I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah,
yeah, Jessica Biel.
There you go.
That's totally it.
Okay.
And sorry for spoiling the movie, but like that
nice.
one, it wasn't even that good of a movie. But like the little plot twist in there. So it's like the plot point that you were saying, where it was like they were kind of confused on their sexuality. So this isn't in the movie. This is just what our interpretation of what we were given on a one snippet thing, where it's like Katie, you know, like she's in an abusive, or I don't even know if it's abusive, but alcoholic father.
She's not gonna get home.
She's constantly like, yeah, fuck this shithole town. Like I want to get out of here. So she's implying that. Like they show the video of like confused sexuality, which like I don't know, you could just take it as like that's not okay. You know, a lot of people aren't okay with that. So like this movie could have been put together in such a unique way. It's like she actually did run away, and then she's meeting up with. So it's like me thinking about this movie, or it's like where it gets to the end, it's like they're actually okay. Like they actually just escaped the town. That would have been so awesome if they did a plot hole like
and that's one thing which I'll do a big show, because I think there's a good movie in there where you play on the kids interferes and whatnot, and that's where you will see it. And yes, you hate clowns, so that's gonna suck. But that is the reason it is so good, because it doesn't have like as the happy ending of that, but it takes what the kids are scared of in the movie, like just in their regular life, not with the clown, just their regular life, and it amplifies that in the movie, and it takes that and whether it's puberty, whether it's someone has an abusive dad, a kid has a lisp, stuff like that. Like it takes the thing the kids are going through. So that's why the stuff with the kids in it, you'll actually enjoy. You're just gonna pass the clown, but like It is like that, just done
I've
really well.
I've heard it's very Stranger Things.
It's very good,
which I
yeah.
love. I
Yeah.
love like the kid group looks awesome.
Yeah.
One of the Stranger Things kids is in there. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
just close your eyes when the clown's on. So.
Yeah, fuck, that's gonna be a fun one.
Do you have anything more to add on Slenderman? Any other plot points? Anything you want to show? Because
most
now's
of the
the
movie's
time.
kind of
We'll
like-
never, unless
yeah.
we do a commentary track, which we might. Because I almost want other people to see this movie just. Because they won't believe it. They won't believe the like. If you're listening to this, you might be like, "Oh, that doesn't sound that bad." But when you see it in the movie, you're like, "Wow."
It's like trying to describe The Room to someone that's never seen The Room.
Exactly.
So it's like it's such like you don't even like
Not
describe
as
it
funny,
doesn't
though.
do justice. No,
Yeah.
no, not
No.
not as entertaining. Like it's a yawn fest for sure.
Yeah, this movie would be better if you replaced the Slenderman with Tommy Wiseau, though. You know?
Holy shit, that'd have been hilarious.
That would have been great.
Oh man, when she gives him the Slenderman face and he's just got a Tommy face as Red.
Hi, Tom. Yeah. Anything else?
Anything else to add? It's funny because this movie we watched it like not long ago and it's already a mesh. Like I don't remember many
We
points
got
of
in
the
the theater
movie. I was like
2 hours ago.
Yeah, like I was like grasping for straws just thinking about the certain scenes that it was like irking me. So
Because I think that's the problem too with this movie. It's just really messy. Like I said that last night with the Meg. I said
So
this to Taylor.
messy.
I'm like, in a week I'm gonna forget about this movie, but I could still tell you like, okay, this danger happens, a shark happens, that. There's so many plot points all over. There's so much stuff that could pick up, and there's like all like little nuggets of good ideas. Some are bad ideas, but there's nugget of good ideas. But they don't run with any. They just run with like a blender of stuff, and none of it works. It just
not at all. It's a total clusterfuck. Like it seems like they took like little ideas that they want to do with the movie, but didn't get anywhere with, but just put it in a blender and just mixed it up, and then this is what we got.
And cliches from all other horror movies as well.
Oh,
so.
like literally, like the one scene I feel like I'll never forget is the Tom messed up face.
Oh yeah,
like fuck,
so
that was
good.
hilarious.
Yeah, well yeah, because I guess I can't use it as my final. I'm giving it a 0 because I just have nothing positive to say. I would give it like a 5 out of 10 for the amount of fun we had. I had a good experience because I saw you.
Yeah.
But this is a movie, if I watched Home Alone, I would have been pissed because it would have been like, at least I had someone, we looked at each other kind of like, are you see this? Or like, if I laugh and Kirklin laughs, like, okay, good, I'm not alone with this. So even in our theater, there's a few other people that laugh too at times. So it wasn't that time where it's like, oh, I feel like a dick. Like, I felt like that Jurassic World, because Jurassic World, the crowd we saw was loving it. At one point, there's a... Okay, fuck, if you have not seen Jurassic World, skip ahead, but who cares? You know the moment there's a movie where the bad guy goes to suffocate that old guy with the pillow? The theater was dead quiet. I bursted out laughing, and then I tried to hold it in because I'm like, oh, no one else is laughing. I feel so bad.
Show the pillow, it's like zoom in. It's like, oh man, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah, but like, at least there was a few other people that, even when you walked to the theater, you got that vibe. Everyone was like, man, we just spent money on that. Like, I did get that vibe. Sometimes when you walk in a movie, you're like, oh, I can see other people that enjoyed this. This was kind of like, it was really quiet. It was like, it wasn't
like
a full theater or anything. But yeah, I would give it a 0 because there's nothing good from a still film standpoint. I have moments like the Tom thing in the tree, and there's a lamp Jesus moment. Like, one house,
that's
Chloe.
one thing we forgot to mention, because when she first goes into Ren's house, there's literally like a framed photo of Jesus with a light on it.
It's the main photo.
With a light on it.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next room. I swear there's like another altar to Jesus or something. And then they go upstairs. In Ren's bedroom, there's like a hole on like it's huge too.
And it's never been touched. Oh, it's a lamp legitimately, and the light is in the middle of Jesus. And
it's like a Mary or something.
Yeah. And then you hit it, and then boom. So and they don't talk about her being religious at all in the movie. They just laid this on. But yeah, 0 for me. I got nothing positive. I guess I should have done this non-spoilers. But if you're this far, don't see unless you have a couple friends to watch it with. See it under their mind of like, man, this is a bad movie, and maybe you'll enjoy it, but I don't think so. The movie's so messy. There's nothing. Acting is not the greatest. I don't even think that's their fault. It's just dialogue's bad. Score is just generic. Even like the Slenderman sounds are kind of all right, but it's nothing that stands out. It's not iconic. Slenderman was not even like a fun monster, so that could have saved it. So it's the same when I talk about Venom. I'm like, oh, that movie might not be good, but as long as the Venom action's all right, at least I could be like, well, it could be a 5 out of 10 movie, but I'll still watch that movie again to see Venom mess people up, right? I would not even watch, and I watch many Nightmare on Elm Street just to see Freddy and the cool kills. Yeah. There's no reason to watch this for Slenderman.
No,
He's
totally.
so boring.
And it's like, it's such a, like exactly what you said, it's such a forgettable character. You'll never, I mean, I was gonna say you won't see people dressed up in like Halloween.
This kills
like,
the hype though, big time for it. Yeah, you could see some people, but this like, I feel like, and maybe it is too hard of a movie, and maybe I don't know. I don't want to sit down and write a Slenderman script, but I feel like this is a chance you could have grew that type of legend, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is 0 from me. I got nothing positive to say. Yeah.
My rating, I honestly want to give it like, I don't even know if zeros were possible on this.
Well, yeah, I've just never the lowest I've given a movie is 0.5. That was Jurassic World.
Okay, I think I'll give it a 0.5.
What's the 0.5? What's your 0.5?
I'll give my 0.5 reasons.
Okay.
If I had to pay for this movie, it would have been a 0.
Mm-hmm.
But shouts out to the homie Dylan for getting a cold and giving me his tickets.
Yep.
So that was awesome. So it pays to not get tickets early, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So shouts out to him. The Tom scene, because I know I'm going to be telling people about that. Like, I'm going to be chuckling to myself, telling people about that. They're going to think I'm a freaking idiot. But I don't care. I enjoyed that scene.
Just gotta wait till it's on YouTube, you know, and you can at least tell them somewhat you're thinking of.
Yeah, and maybe like a 0.3 then. I can't think of any other reasons. Like
0.3,
it's so like it's weird to describe of how bad this was because it was so bad. Like you're trying to reach for like a good point of anything that happened in this movie, but like.
You have to see it to
the writing's just awful. It's such a clusterfuck. Like there's just so many things that don't mesh together. The rules, they think like the rules are relevant for like 2 minutes in this movie. Like they just don't make sense.
They get rid of them or they just add new ones.
Yeah, exactly. Like like either don't have rules or have rules and follow them. Don't just make up new rules as the movie goes on.
And that's like the most
totally
important thing of like a horror movie. Like look at the Saw franchise. Hey, you're a bad person. You're in a trap. You gotta get out to survive. Like. Those are the basis of horror films and franchises, and that's maybe why this film doesn't work, because it just shoots itself in the foot right away. Like, these are the rules, and then we break them right away, or we go against them right away. It's like, well, why should I care about anything? Because this movie can just do whatever it wants, and then not do whatever it wants. So, it's headache-inducing.
It is very headache-inducing, so yeah, I can't think of really anything positive to say other than the top. It's just like a meme. Like the one meme that I got from this movie, I'm gonna give it a couple points.
And no one's gonna suck. This movie is not gonna be popular enough for that to become a meme and people to get it. You know, like no one's gonna understand other than you seen Slenderman, the Tom scene. Yeah,
exactly. That's why I need Taylor to watch it. So because I know he would make that meme.
I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna try to tell them not to see it before October, and we should do a commentary track without them because I want to see reactions. I want to see. And I think it'd be a movie like how we've talked about so many times. We'd be like, oh, did they do that? It'd be a good movie to talk over and be like, oh, so, you know, there's some trying, so maybe we could catch something. But, you know, in October, maybe look out for that because this movie now is going to be a new obsession of ours because it was so bad. But thank you very much for tuning in. I did not think we were going to go an hour and 40 minutes on the Slenderman.
Wow, that was good.
So, yeah.
First ever You and Me podcast.
Yeah, historic podcast. What a way to ring it in, you know, the Slenderman podcast. You know, hopefully the next time we do this, we're talking about a better movie. But thank you very much.
Short film, perhaps. Maybe a new game.
Maybe just never Slenderman again, you know. So thank you very much for tuning in. Maybe what the fuck was that movie? Hellfest.
Oh yeah, Hellfest.
Hellfest. You never know. I'm gonna show that trailer to Taylor.
We should have reviewed that trailer.
I bet Taylor's 100% into that. But thank you very much for tuning in. Check out all the links down below: YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, whole shebang. I'm kind of short because my voice is going. I've done 6 hours of podcasting in the past 24 hours, and I got another podcast coming up tomorrow. So I gotta save the golden throat there. So thank you very much for tuning in. You got anything to say before we get out of here?
Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. I'll see you in the search bar.
See you next week. You will not be boring.